Hey, what's going on, DDO players? Axel here. So today I want to just go over Update 42's release notes. Update 42, the Masterminds of Sharn expansion, came out yesterday. So let's go ahead and just go through and talk about the release notes. I don't do this for every update, but there was enough in here, not even apart from the expansion in here to talk about to make it worth making a video. So let's go ahead and get started. So of course, the first thing in the notes, Masterminds of Sharn, it came out yesterday. And I did live stream yesterday, and I'll probably live stream tomorrow, or if not tomorrow, Friday or this weekend, some to continue with that. But I have run the first of the chain, probably about half the quests I've run so far. I ran yesterday the first of the chain quests, and then most of the quests in the cogs, which is the cogs is the new wilderness explorer area, but I digress. Let's continue with the notes. So here they say, discover the mysteries of Sharn, explore one of the most iconic locations in D&D Eberron, in the D&D Eberron campaign setting, navigate the power struggles between the rich and the powerful as you hunt from the highest towers of the city to the deepest depths of the cogs. Learn more at ddo.com/Sharn. And if you don't know how to get there, there's two ways to get there. Well, actually three ways. If you bought the Ultimate Fan Bundle, there is a boarding pass which lets you go directly, teleports you directly there. You can get there from an NPC in the harbor, and you can also get there through an airship. Now, the airship thing I saw on the forum today was a little controversial, and I'm probably going to do a video talking about that a little bit. But that's a whole another topic entirely that I don't want to get into in this video. But so let's just continue. There are 9 story dungeons and 8 walk-up explorer dungeons in the new expansion, and it does have a 1 explorer area and 2 raids. And just like the last expansion, there's only 1 raid out right now, and the next raid is going to release in the next update. So we have that to look forward to. But plenty of other content in the meantime. Obviously, they released 17 quests, I think it is. Although the cogs quests are pretty short. I've run most of them, like I've said. Now, a few things that the first thing I want to talk about. There was a lot of things in these release notes where they talked about minor changes, minor tweaks, bug fixes. But here are some of the more notable things that I want to talk about. The first one is the DDO store. So a new item has been added to the DDO store called Call of Destiny Elixirs. These potions allow a character to earn experience in one epic destiny while another is active for up to 3 hours per potion. Note, you need to have unlocked the appropriate epic destiny before you can gain experience in it. The redeemed item can be used to select which epic destiny the potion should apply to, available in the DDO store under the Epic Destiny Tools category. Okay. So this is actually something I talked about a week ago in my forum, one of my I think it was my first forum talk video I did last week. But this is something that I've never liked, is the fact that you have to run in a Destiny outside of the one you want to run in order to kind of build up fate points and to unlock epic destinies for twists and things. And they've heard that, and they introduced a solution. Unfortunately, it's a paid solution, and I have to disagree with the way they're going about it here. Now, it's I think this item is fine if they offer some way to do it in game as well. Like if you're going to change the mechanic, which I've always thought was a bad mechanic, and I'm not going to redo that rant, because I talked about that last week. If you want to hear that rant, you can go back last week and watch that video from me. But basically, I think what they can do here is what I think they should do is offer some way to do this in game. So if you want to say run in an epic destiny, you should that's not your own inner experience in it. They should let you do that at a penalty, and then they can offer this potion in store to make that penalty less. So whatever penalty they're still providing you, and let's see, let me read this again. Yeah, so it looks like from the way I'm interpreting this, you can just straight earn experience points, Epic Destiny experience points in an Epic Destiny you're not running in. So what they could do is in-game offer the same thing, but at a 50% penalty. So say you use the potion, you get no penalty. You don't use the potion in the store, you can still do this. You can still not be forced to run in, say, Magister on your fighter, and earn experience, but you get a penalty for that. So you get a 50% penalty, but if you have the potion, you can do it without a penalty. I think that would be fair, but making it store exclusive, I don't like that. I have to disagree with them here. I think it can work again to monetize this, and I know they have to make money, but I do think they should also earn some way, some way to do it for free in game, although that way should be less convenient to give you a reason to spend money on the store and earn SSG money. I think that's a fair exchange, so I hope they do that. Will they do that? I doubt it, but who knows? Maybe someone from SSG will hear this video and maybe consider it. Okay, let's continue. We have a lot of enhancement fixes, just little things here. The next big item I want to talk about is they introduced a new item, actually multiple new items. First of all, there's new filigree in the Sharn expansion. Sharn is, I saw a lot of new filigree running yesterday that I hadn't seen before. So this looks to me, just on first glance, and again, I've only played Sharn for a day, it seems like there are a lot of new filigree. There's also a new kind of equipment available called a minor artifact. And the way I understand them, now I haven't pulled one or picked one up in Sharn yet, but the way I understand it is basically these minor artifacts are going to go into your character's equipment slots and basically give you more filigree, be able to slot more filigree into your sentient weapons. So it's kind of a way of expanding the sentient weapon system. So that's very cool. Gives you something else to look for and farm for and try to get. And then again, you can fit more filigree. I haven't played with this yet because obviously I don't have it yet in game, but if I'm understanding it correctly, you will be able to put additional filigree in here. So maybe you can fit more filigree sets into your weapon, whatever. So that's very cool. So look out for that. The rest of the stuff. Okay, here's one other thing. A lot of this stuff is kind of minor stuff. Again, I will actually link the release notes in the description below if you want to read everything. But I'm just going over in this video things that I feel are important or relevant or noteworthy. The next thing is the sealed and amber changes. So this caught my eye. They've been playing around with the sealed and amber quest because originally, and they changed this prior, I think in the prior update, they changed this. What was going on in game is that it was a little bit too easy for people to farm Reaper experience points from this quest. So they added more enemies. If I'm remembering correctly, yeah, from the last patch, and now they've reduced enemies. And they've also made a change here with one of the NPCs. So I don't know what they're doing here. I don't know if they thought they overshot the mark with the kind of sealed and amber farmability nerf, but it's something worth looking at. And if you were one of those people who ran sealed and amber for the Reaper bonuses, then maybe you give it another shot. Maybe it's easier now. I don't know. Okay, this is the other, and I think the last big thing that I wanted to talk about. They made a major change to the way concentration works. So look at this. The concentration skill DC check now only uses 1/10 of the incoming damage to increase its DC. And before, it was all of the damage. So what that means is that concentration could potentially be much more effective than it was before, because the DC to basically to not fail your spell. So for those of you who aren't aware, what concentration does is you have a check where if an enemy hits you, before there was a formula where it basically calculated how much damage your character could take. And it was based, I think, on spell level and damage. I think there was, a base DC of 10 or something. I'll put a pop-up here with the actual formula just in case I'm remembering it incorrectly. But essentially what this does is that it might make concentration more useful. So there might be bits of small damage that you can maybe absorb now if you have a high concentration skill and not have to rely so much on Quicken, because Quicken for pretty much every spellcaster in the game has been a mandatory, because not only does it speed up your spells, but it makes it so your spells can't be interrupted. And what's happened in the game in years past is that in epics, you're taking so much damage to where having a high concentration skill it just it loses its usefulness at some point. Concentration does, because you're just taking too much damage. You can't possibly get your DC up so high to where it's useful. But now they've made it basically it now only uses 1/10. So it's way more effective. It's going to be way more effective. So you still take a ton of damage in Reapers and Epics. So I don't know, like, you would have to do the math to see how much more useful it is exactly. And I can't tell you how much more effective it is without doing the math. But I will say that it's very noteworthy, and concentration certainly is going to be more useful now than it was. So it's just something worth looking at. Okay, I think that is it. Yeah. So that's everything I wanted to talk about, but those were things that I thought that were worth going over. So Sharn is out, so if you don't have it, it's worth checking out. I haven't run most of the chain quests yet, so I'm reserving my judgment on it so far. But I can say that from what I've run, the Cogs Explorer area is good. It's fun. The walk-up quests are a nice change. We haven't seen those in a while. The city, the public area, looks very good. So yeah, and I have video from yesterday on my channel. I streamed for 2.5 hours. If you want to see just a quick look, if you're trying to decide if you want to buy it or not, you can at least look at my video from yesterday, and you can look at the wilderness area. You can see what the public area looks like, and you can see what the first chain quest looks like, and a lot of the walk-up quests. I did most of the walk-up quests, and I will probably stream again tomorrow and continue with the chain quests. So if you want to watch me tomorrow, I'll probably stream tomorrow, probably in the evening sometime. So it's somewhere from probably 7:30 Eastern to 9:30 Eastern. I'll probably start sometime in there. So guys, that is going to be it for this video. I hope you enjoyed. I will see you next time. Have a good one. Take care.